Good day everyone. I am going to present coping with the challenges of intercultural communication of South Korea. Korea is a small peninsula located between China and Japan. As a result of the Allied victory in World War II in 1945, Korea was divided into two sovereign states with different political ideologies, the Republic of Korea to the south and the Democratic People's Republic of Korea to the north. Their culture. Korea is greatly influenced by the Chinese and Japanese culture. This influence can be seen by Confucianism, which established many traditions that can be seen in modern Korea today. These traditions include the ethical code of conduct in social life and showing respect to the elders and family. Koreans also believe in sincerity and loyalty, and follow certain codes of conduct while meeting, eating, praying, and even celebrating. At times when many other cultures would shake hands, Koreans bow. They bow as a sign of gratitude and respect to the person they are meeting. Their communication mode. Koreans share one language with approximately 70 million people around the globe speaking Korean. The language structure, grammar, and vocabulary are similar to Japanese. Dialects are regional, differing mainly in accent, but are so similar that comprehension for a speaker or listener is not an issue. Key differences in dialect are also attributed to social status. Korea has one of the highest literacy rates in the world due to the phonetic nature of the written language, which was invented in the mid-15th century to give one language to Korean. Their verbal cues. Indirect communication. The South Korean communication pattern is generally indirect and quite verbal. They tend to rely on words and are attentive to speaker posture, expression, and tone of voice to show meaning. For them, its speech can be ambiguous as they often understate their point. The purpose of this is to maintain harmony throughout the conversation and prevent a loss of pace on either end of the exchange. Their refusal. A South Korean preoccupation with saving face and politeness means that they will seldom give a flat no or negative response, even when they don't agree with you. Therefore, focus on hint of hesitation, listening to what they say, but also paying careful attention to what they subtly imply. Their speech style. While they may be indirect communication style, South Koreans generally speak quite firmly and use less gesture and facial expression. This can make them come across as stern. Expect them to give a serious replies and retort. They also tend to ask questions in order to discern their status in comparison to the person they are talking to. Silence. Silence is an important and purposeful tool in an Asian communication. Pausing before giving a response indicates that someone has applied appropriate thought and consideration to the question. It reflects politeness and respect. It is a sign of respect to them. When someone is speaking, they need to be quiet or silent to hear the people who's talking. Laughter. Laughter is sometimes used in an awkward situation. A Korean may laugh when they feel uncomfortable and not necessarily because what was said was genuinely funny. They make jokes and sometimes they use in an awkward situation. Non-verbal cues. Physical contact. Koreans are generally not very physical affectionate with one another. However, male friends may touch one another more than Western man and girl may walk hand in hand. Strong eye contact not encourage impolite to interrupt or disagree. Give or receive with both hands. Traditional Korean use the bow for. Minimal physical contact unless in public spaces. Prefer for formal recognition of space, particularly with the elderly who are treated with reverence. Personal space. Personal space is not guarded very closely in Korea. People generally expect to come into contact with a stranger on busy streets and tend not to worry or apologize when personal space is invaded. Koreans do not like to be touched by a stranger and especially not on the head. Even children prefer no public kissing or physical affectionate with similar gender and close friendship. There can be touching. Pointing. People do not point with their index finger but rather with their entire hand. Because in Korea, pointing with one finger is rude to Korea. Giving or receiving with one hand is big no to them. Beckoning. One beckon by fluttering all fingers to one hand with the palm facing toward the ground. Eye contact. During a discussion or friendly conversation, make full eye contact with the person you are talking to. Avoid direct eye contact if you are scolded, rebuffed by someone older or of a higher status than you. Some Koreans may also avoid eye contact with their superior on a regular basis. Hand. Use two hands on your right hand alone to offer or receive something. Gesture. It is considered rude to make a fist with your hand while placing the thumb between the middle and index finger. Expression. Koreans tend to thumb across a quite straight face in conversation. However, their facial expression can immediately expose when they are angry or in disagreement. Smiling. As well as an expression of glee and humor, smiling can indicate that one is feeling ashamed or embarrassed in Korean culture. For example, a Korean may smile when they make a mistake. Sneezing. Sneezing is considered rude in Korea. It is best practice to excuse yourself from the room if you have to. Thank you.